Hi everyone, I'm Kanisha Coleman, the Beauty CPA, and I help beauty entrepreneurs save money on their taxes with effective tax planning and CFO services. So, I was supposed to go live today, but life happened. I had to take my daughter to an earlier doctor's appointment than originally planned, but I didn't want to leave you hanging, so I recorded this video so that you can watch it right at 3:30 when it was originally planned to go live. So we are here today to talk about budgeting, creating your beauty business's future money goal. Okay. So I've been talking about budgeting, and there are layers to that. You don't just sit down for 30 minutes and throw things on a spreadsheet and go about your business. I want you to put some real thought into your budget, because your budget is your financial roadmap. It's going to be the plan that you follow all year to achieve your money goals. And I don't want you to cheat yourself when you're making this future money goal, right? So I know a lot of kind of theory and guidance that you may have heard in the past by others is to create a SMART goal, right? SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And that's all great. I agree with it to a certain extent. The one issue that I have a problem with is the the realistic part of the SMART goal. A lot of entrepreneurs, beauty entrepreneurs, use that word realistic to to shortchange themselves and to not dream big. And that's what I want you to avoid, right? I want you to really, really dream big. And we can make it realistic. What makes it realistic is when you sit down and you create a very specific plan to achieve your future money goal. So let's get more into it. So you see this post on my screen. This was a post I just did a little while ago. And what it is a starting point, a jumping off point that I want you to keep in your records, in your business, and to use, throughout your business when you sit and you make money goals. This will be your jumping off point. There are 4 steps I want you to keep in mind, okay? Number one, when you're creating a money goal, right? Your revenue, when I say money goal, I mean the revenue you want to earn, the sales you want to make. It all means the same thing. How much money are you trying to bring into your business? And you can think about this several ways. You can think about it for all of 2021 and break it down by months or even quarters. Do whatever time period works for you. I really like to work backwards, kind of reverse engineer it. I'll think of what I want to make for the whole year of 2021. Then I'll break that down into quarters: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And then I'll take each quarter and I'll break it down by month, and then I'll even break it down by week. You guys can definitely do that, because if you're selling services or products, you're doing that on even a daily basis. So even if you want to break it down even further to be doing that daily, you can definitely do that, and it really will keep your eyes on the money. It'll keep your eyes on the progress you're making, because at the end of every day or the end of every week, you're going to have to look at that number, that revenue number, and know what it is and assess whether you have hit it or not. Okay? So let's go back to making the goal. Do not shortchange yourself. Be realistic, but still dream big. And we're going to make it realistic by making a very specific actionable plan to achieve that future money goal. So, step number one, when we're thinking about what the future money goal should be, list out all of your expenses. All of your expenses, meaning your direct expenses that you incur to deliver your service or your product, and then list all of your business's overhead. Things like rent, utility, technology needs, refreshments, cleaning, supplies. List all of that out. I don't care how small it is, even if it's $5 a month, still list it out. You got to have a really, really good handle on what your expenses are to maintain and run your business. And this is the importance of bookkeeping. If you have been maintaining bookkeeping, you'll be able to go into your financial records right now and be able to see very quickly what your expenses are because you've been maintaining your bookkeeping all year. If you're not doing that, please, 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 please make sure you start doing that. I'm going to put a link to a bookkeeping template in the caption to this video. You click on that link, it's going to give you a bookkeeping Excel template, and it's going to also include a video walkthrough of how to use it. If you're a newbie to bookkeeping, please start there. Of course, you can go into a cloud accounting system later, but just to get a feel for what it's like to record your financial transactions of your business, I want you to start with the Excel template, at least from now to the end of the year. We're what, mid-October, so you only have maybe 8 to 10 weeks of the year left. So you don't have long. Use the Excel template to kind of get a feel for what bookkeeping is. Make it a habit of recording your transactions every week from now to the end of the year. And then if you get a good handle on that, then think about moving to a cloud accounting system like QuickBooks the beginning of 2021. But I don't want you to jump the gun, too quick. And if you like using that Excel spreadsheet, there's nothing wrong with continuing that through 2021, especially if you do not have a high value of financial transactions running throughout your business. So again, check that out. Look at the link in the caption to this video. Okay, let's get back to step number one. List all of your expenses. Once you have all of that listed, go ahead and add to that what you would like to pay yourself. Okay, and also add to that the savings that you want to start for your business. Now, this savings can be for purposes of building an emergency fund, or you could want to reinvest a certain dollar amount back into your business. Maybe you want to use that money for more PR. Maybe you want to use it for advertising. Maybe you want to use it for I don't know, investing in a new product line for your business, whatever it may be. Just make sure you include that savings amount into this list of expenses. Now, once you add all this up, your expenses, what you want to pay yourself, and your savings for your business, that think of that as your break even point, right? You have to make at least this much money to cover all of the things your business needs, right? All of your business needs would be met. But we don't stop there, because if we stop there, then we're living like our business is operating paycheck to paycheck, and we don't want that, right? We didn't become entrepreneurs to live paycheck to paycheck. So that leads me into step number two. I want you now to dream big and shoot for the moon, because every dollar that you add above and beyond your break even point, that's just icing on the cake, right? Now that we start dreaming and we start fantasizing about the type of life we want to live, the type of business we want to run. And if you want, you could just continue to save or reinvest back into your business. So dream big on this one and don't be scared of the number, right? I made a post a little while ago. The post was the beauty industry will be worth about $863 billion by the year 2023 or 2024. Now, I said $863 billion. When I say that, there is no reason any of you should think that your goal should be any less than six figures. $100,000. $100,000. With the industry worth that much, $863 billion, there is room for you to take $100,000 of that. Okay? The average American woman spends over $300 on her beauty, whatever that may be. That may be skincare products or services, cosmetics, that fragrance. It could mean a lot of things. But the point is, the American woman spends at least $300 a month on that service. With that being said, There is room for you and for your beauty revenue goals for your business. You can take $100,000 of that market share. Okay, so shoot for the moon and dream big with this one. We'll worry about the realisticness or the how a little later, but go ahead and dream big. Number three, map out your revenue model. Now we're going to go into being more actionable, specific, and making how are we going to make that dream a reality, right? Now let's start to get a little realistic. When I say map out your revenue model, it means how are you, what services and or products are you going to provide or produce to achieve your future money goal. So let's say it is $100,000 a year. What can you do or make to make that much money? Now, when I say revenue model, get very, very specific as to the ways you're going to earn revenue or make sales. We know number one is going to be providing your services. You can say number two can be providing a product. Number three can be maybe you want to start to do some, if you can do some mentoring or some coaching to less experienced beauty professionals in your field. Number four, can you provide virtual consultations that people don't need to be in your face for, right? Number five, can you do live or recorded tutorials? This is especially for example, my hairstylist, my skincare therapist, or my makeup artist. Women are out here like craving to want to learn how to do some of this stuff themselves, especially when they come to a point where like they can't get an appointment, right? Or we can't get into the office because there's a pandemic and we can't be face to face. How can they take care of themselves at home? If you provided a paid live or recorded tutorial, that's a tool for them to use whenever they want to take care of themselves so the next time they can see you. So you see where I'm going with this? Think of ways that you can make money regardless if you can see your client face to face or not, right? So think about ways to make money in person, think about ways to make money virtually, think about the active money you can make, and think of ways you can make it passively as well. Have multiple streams of income, because if the pandemic has taught us nothing at all, it taught us that we should have more than one way to make money, and it should not be dependent on if you can touch a person or not. So think about that, okay? Diversify your revenue streams. And then number four, let's make sure it's doable, right? So I don't want you to say, I want to make $1 million, but you're the only one in your practice. You know, if you're going to make $1 million, you need more people on your team. And you need a whole bunch of PR and a whole bunch of advertising dollars. When you know you don't have that, then you know that that's not doable. So let's look at the number that you have come up with in step number two, right? What is your shoot for the moon number? What is your dream big number? If it's $100,000, and then you break that down by quarter, by month, by week, and by day. If you look at that number per day, what can you do to meet a daily the daily goal? Let's break that down because I've seen it done before on other like, you know, social media posts. So $100,000, let's divide that by 52 weeks out of the year. Let's even do, you're not gonna work, you're gonna have a vacation, right? Let's do 49 weeks. That gives you 3 weeks off for whatever. Sick, vacation, taking care of a child, mental health rest days, whatever. But we'll do 49 weeks. $100,000 divided by 49 weeks means that you need to make $2,041 a week. Let's divide that by 5 days. You see how I'm being realistic, right? I know you're not going to work 52 weeks the whole year. Life is going to happen. So I broke it down to 49 weeks. That gives you 3 weeks off. And then I'm saying, okay, $2,041 a week. Well, you ain't gonna work 7 days a week. I don't want you to work 7 days a week. We did not become entrepreneurs to have to work like dogs. We could have stayed working a W-2 job. This is not a knock on W-2 jobs, but I've had some, and you can work a lot of hours. Okay, so $2,041. Let's divide that by 5 days. That means you need to make $408 a day. Now let's talk about I'm just gonna just let's pick on the estheticians. Can an esthetician make $408 a day? That's two facials I've gotten. I've gotten facials where I've paid more than $200 for the facial. That's just two clients a day. Let's say this is a newer esthetician that may not be charging their worth and they only charge $100 for the facial. That's still only four clients a day. And let's say the facial only takes an hour. That's still only, you've made $400 in 4 hours. You made a little over $100 per hour. I think you can do that. When you break it down, it becomes like you look at it realistically. You say to yourself, I could do that. $400 a day for an esthetician, for a makeup artist, for a hairstylist. I've paid a hairstylist $250 for one hairstyle that took maybe 2.5 hours to do. So if you take your 8 hour day, I hope you're only working 8 hours a day, including breaks and lunch breaks. Okay. 8 hours a day. Your average service maybe takes 2 hours. So you have four 2 hour blocks. If you can make 200 plus, that actually doubles what our estimate is. So guys, do this breakdown. Do this, make your, do what I'm saying, steps 1 through 4. And then when you get to that, when you break down in number 4, right? You take your number 2, shoot for the moon goal, break it down to the day. And you say to yourself, can the services or products I provide achieve this daily, right? This daily goal amount? If the answer is a yes, or a hell yes, or I can even do better, I can double that, you're good to go. You're shooting for the moon. That should be your future money goal. That should be your future money goal. So I know 6 figures sounds like intimidating, but when you break it down by the day and you look at what you charge people, you can make that goal. Now remember, we're talking about revenue here, not profit. So revenue is just all the money you make. Your revenue is going to decrease by your expenses. It's going to decrease by your expenses. So if you want more profit left, right, which is revenue minus expenses, you got to up your shoot for the moon goal. Maybe your shoot for the moon goal for profit is $100,000, and then maybe you want to actually make 150. So it work on it backwards, right? So let's say you want your net profit to be $100,000. You know, to run your business and to pay yourself and to save, it costs maybe, I don't know, 50, 60K. Then maybe your shoot for the moon revenue goal should be $160,000. When you break that down by day, you ask yourself, depending on your prices for your services, your products, and remember all the other passive stuff that you can do, like the makeup tutorial, the skincare regimen tutorial, any, like I said, any product, any digital products. Maybe you want to create an e-guide. on something in your field. That also makes money. So remember, when you're shooting for the moon, making these goals, take into account all the ways you make money, not just, behind the chair or doing facials or, whatever your craft is. So let's real quick, let's try to do that 160. And the net profit, that was beyond the scope here. That does come a little bit later, but just for illustration purposes. Let's say your shoot for the moon revenue goal, meaning all the money you just want to make in your business for the year for 2021. $160,000. Let's divide that over 49 weeks. We're going to take 3 weeks of vacation or sick leave or whatever. That comes to $3,265 a week. Let's divide that by 5 days because we want a weekend. Everybody else get a weekend. You guys deserve a weekend. That's $653 a day. Can you make $653 a day with whatever you do? Yeah, of course you can. Remember, this is $653 spread over all of your revenue streams. You can at least have two. You can at least have two. Remember that. So although your big, your shoot for the moon number may be scary, break it down by day. And then keep in mind the ways you make money and how much you charge. It becomes way more realistic at that point, guys. Okay, so you have your, you kind of like your homework. Keep this slide in your records, this video. Use them as a jumping off point to make your future money goals. Think about revenue, all the money you want to make for the year. We're going to talk about net profit a little later. We're going to talk about proper expense allocations later. For right now, though, just think about how much money you want to make for 2021. Break it down by day. When you look at it by day, think about all the ways in which you can make money. Think about your prices. Can you get there? You may have to raise some prices. If it's a yes, if it's a hell yes, write it down. It's once it's written down, that's it. You're committing. You're gonna do it. Okay. I hope that this was helpful. I'm sorry again we couldn't do this live, but please, 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 if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I am going to respond to all of them. Or if you're shy, feel free to DM me or inbox me on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Okay? Have a great one.